Well, hey, my friend. Welcome to Creatives on Fire, the go-to podcast for content creators looking to grow their audience as well as their income. I'm so excited you're here. I'm your host, Melanie Ferguson. So my guest today is the creator of 3 amazing tools, and I cannot wait to introduce him to you. But in the meantime, speaking of tools, have you grabbed your 2025 content planner yet? If not, let me tell you a little bit about it. Hey, Melanie Ferguson here. I have created a content planner for creatives that's unique to content creators. It's a 52-week planning guide and calendar designed to help you manage your time, help you stay organized, consistent, and really just know what to do and when. From planning your content to making sure you're on track every single week, this planner allows you to focus on what matters most for your business. So if you're looking for a way to keep all of your things organized, be able to be ahead of the game and know exactly what to do and when, check it out at creativesonfirepodcast.com/planner. That's creativesonfirepodcast.com/planner. Welcome back to the podcast, you guys. This week, I am so excited because we have some of my favorite tools and the creator of them on the podcast, Mr. Jonathan Ward. Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
So Jonathan has been creating ways to monetize websites for over the last 20 years. And over the last couple of years, he's really dug deeper into creating tools that we can use to actually benefit the monetization. So, John, tell us about the first tool I want to talk about, which is the post magic. And this is for all of my listeners who are hot and heavy on Facebook and you see the value, which is probably most of you. So, John, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, like you said, it's a tool created for Facebook. I made it because I have some pages in the Facebook bonus program, and basically what I did was I found that there's a kind of a glitch way to create these customized posts that are a little bit bigger, almost like a collage type post that you can't do through the Facebook interface, but I was able to do it with my tool. And the reason I like these is because they kind of take up a lot of screen real estate, especially on mobile, and they tend to get a lot of screen stopping and kind of like clicking.
So I was playing around with it this morning, you guys, and I want to tell you, it is so much fun and so easy. So basically, you log in and it asks you to use the tool through your Facebook. You click all the buttons and then you get to creating. And it's literally like a background with your text. And then how many images are we allowed to add to it?
I think you can add about 6 images. I think 5 of them will show under the images like a collage, but I think you can add like 6.
And then it's like, boom. And I'm telling you, my use case for it has been to put an announcement that says, I'll be live later today. If you'd like to get all of my notifications, type the word notify in the comments. And then I put a picture of like the supplies we're going to use for the tutorial, or a finished picture of what we're going to use, or just some fun holiday pictures based on the season. So I am so thankful you made this tool, John.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I really like it for those kind of like prompt questions, and then because it drives engagement, right, which helps drive your post on the algorithm.
Yeah, it'll stop their scroll because they're like, "What is
Yeah,
this?" They've not seen that format before.
right.
We've seen collages, but not the big stop sign, colors behind the text and things like that, that is so hot. All right. So, moving on, I have already shared on the podcast, and I'll put the episode below for you guys who might have missed it, about a couple niche websites that I started, and they are qualified through Journey. But I want to tell you about a tool that John has created that was super helpful. He called it Journey Explorer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Journey Explorer, the idea behind it was kind of these sites that get into these programs like Journey by Mediavine tend to meet certain requirements for the ad networks. And what I was wanted to find out was, okay, what type of sites are getting in, what type of niches are getting in, and can I use those to help me find new niches? So what I did was I found a way to get a list of every site that gets added to Journey by Mediavine, and it updates daily. So you can get a list of every site that's added. You can go take a look at them. use them for competitive reasons, use them for new ideas and things like that.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what I did. I went over there and I was like, okay, so this is the kind of stuff that is working for people and creating enough traffic, keyword, enough traffic to get monetized. So I think it's super helpful. And sometimes it's just fun to see kind of what competition is out there as well. So it's a great free tool. And then John was like, okay, I've got to create something with this new AI rage. Tell us a little bit about your latest creation that I believe launched today.
Yeah, it's launched. It's really cool. Basically, I wanted to do something around kind of automating my workflow, especially for like the content I post on Pinterest. I also use it for Facebook, but it's basically listicle content, right? Where it's kind of a heading, an image, a description of the image. And those tend to really do well on social media for me. So I created a script myself. And then I finally realized, hey, there's a lot of people out there that kind of struggle with this creation of content, right? They're maybe spending hours in Midjourney or Ideogram, using ChatGPT to kind of like fill out the paragraphs or maybe writing them themselves, right? So it takes really a lot of time. And I heard actually like a lot of people are actually scaling like virtual assistants, virtual agents to help them like build out this mechanism, right? And my idea was I could probably use my software knowledge to kind of help automate this process. So I created Content Goblin, which helps to generate these listicles quickly.
I'm so excited about this program. So you heard him right. It's called Content Goblin. It actually is a goblin that gobbles up all of that time you were spending on all of those platforms. So I don't know what your thought behind the name was, but that's what I think of. I think, oh my gosh, it's saving me so much time because I don't know about you, but I would spend, gosh, of course, I would only allocate an hour, but then I would be over there 3 and 4 hours just playing with Midjourney and Ideogram and Playground and all the different ones, just kind of trying to get the perfect image for a post. But John has taken all of that out of the process for you and put it so seamlessly. So, John, kind of walk us through what the process is for creating in this tool.
Okay. Let me comment on the name first. So the name actually, it's kind of an inside joke in the industry. I don't know if your listeners have saw this, but there was an article on The Verge, right, where they basically called anyone who does SEO content goblins that were out there kind of spamming the internet with bad content, right? So I kind of just did what a lot of people do. I took the name and I tried to turn a positive spin on it, saying like, we can create content quickly, but it's going to be quality content. It's not just going to be spam. So that's kind of where I got the name for the tool from.
I love it. You can have your own take, whatever you want to say it's for, but I think it's a positive for sure.
Yeah. And then the tool itself, it's pretty easy to use. Basically, you go into the tool, you tell it which image model you want to use, which is basically like the engine that generates the image for you. I have a couple different options. There's Flux, which is one type of model, and then Ideogram, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with from the Ideogram website. You pick the model, you basically give it a topic of what you want to write about, and then how many images you want, and the format of the image, right? So maybe you want the 9 by 16 for like Pinterest, or maybe you want wider 16 by 9. There's a bunch of different formats. And you click generate and say you put in 20 images you want. It'll generate those 20 images very quickly for you, maybe in about like 20 seconds if you're using the Flux Chanel model, which is my cheapest model. And it's really straightforward like that. There are some other options we can get into if you want to, but that's the basics of how the tool works.
And when he says put in the pictures, he means the number you want the program to spit out for you. You don't have to upload any images. This tool does it all for you. And so it is for right now listicles, but John has some great plans that we'll hear about in a minute. But the tool itself is going to save you from having to create each of these images individually over on the other platforms. That is what takes up so much of your time. And then it also does that writing tool for you as well. And you have two choices there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I basically gave it the writing is basically what shows up below the image in your article. So I gave it two options. I gave it a concise option, which I tend to use for maybe like things like interior design or things you don't have to go into a super detailed, right? So it gives you like basically like one little paragraph. Then I have a more concise mode where it kind of explains it a little bit more. I kind of would use those for maybe like a recipe roundup or something, right? Where it's like you tell a little bit about the recipe and then you can give it like it'll give some like ingredients and steps, right? So it's just more expanded, maybe like 2 or 3 paragraphs versus the one short paragraph.
I love it. And then there is a part of the tool that I don't want to dismiss. I feel like you might be so close to the forest, you can't see the trees, but it is that integration with your actual WordPress site. Tell us how that works.
Oh, yeah. So you can go into the tool, you can add your WordPress site. And then once the article is done generating, you basically just click a drop down and tell it which site you want to send the post to. It'll automatically create a post for you on WordPress. And then you can go into your WordPress, edit it, whatever you need to do.
It is beautiful. I'm telling you, that is like Christmas unwrapping your gift from Santa when you click that button and then go over to your WordPress site, and there it is, ready as a draft, ready for you to tweak and publish. I do recommend, which I'm sure John does too, going in and kind of giving it your own touch with obviously all of the wording. And then any of the images that you don't absolutely adore, you could switch out as well. And then adding your own content to it as well to remember towards the end. So, John, tell us what the opportunity is. How do we get signed up?
Yeah. So, like I said, the tool launched today. I had some pre registers, and today it's available on contentgoblin.ai. And on that page, it shows you everything, the pricing. I have pricing for every budget from, people that are just getting started trying to build a website to people that really just want to scale their content and monetize better.
It is amazing the different offers that you give. It's perfect, like he said, for any size site. And it's not complicated. I love how you kept it super simple. You can do this package or this package. Like it wasn't like this many credits. I think I get bogged down when you're doing the AI stuff and like this many credits, this many days, this many hours, this many minutes. If you want it fast or slow, it's like, no, here's your two choices. So, John, tell us what is next for the future.
Yeah. So since I really built this tool for myself and I'm a user of the tool and I do like publish this type of content, I tend to think about ways to kind of make my workflow better, which will in turn benefit the users. So one of the ideas I have that I want to add really soon is a recipe generator, right? Where you'll get, a high quality image of your final recipe. You'll get some like introduction text. You'll get the ingredients, instructions, calories, even if you're familiar with the schema markup that comes with the recipe. That way, your recipe would show in Google results in the carousel, and also on Pinterest, they bring in the ingredients for the recipes if you post to Pinterest. So that would be included with that recipe generator. And then I also have some other kind of ideas I've been thinking about adding. One of which is AI can be a little bit unpredictable still, right, with these images. So when you output an article, sometimes the image is just not quite exactly what you want. So what I'd like to do is give the ability for somebody to click on that image and regenerate it so you can get, the image you wanted. And that's just kind of the nature of AI right now, but it'll get better as new things come out and I'll integrate them to the tool. And then finally, I have like another idea for kind of like a YouTube roundup post where you go find a bunch of YouTube videos related to your topic, embed the videos in your page, and then describe the video itself underneath in that kind of like content description. So those are kind of like the 3 things that are top of mind right now, but I have plenty of things on my roadmap that are going to be added. And everybody that signs up is going to get access to all of those features for free. There's not going to be any additional charge. They basically just all will use the credits that are in your monthly plan.
That is amazing. I am so excited, John. I'm so glad we met. I'm so excited about all of the things that you have on the horizon for this tool. So you guys, you heard it, Content Goblin. I don't think you'll forget because that is such a snappy, great marketing name. So check it out. We'll put all the links in the show notes. But John, let me part with this question. And I think I already know the answer. But what inspires you?
What inspires me? I guess I would say I like to do these things kind of for my family, to be honest. I want to show my son like a good example of kind of like entrepreneurial spirit. And also, if I build these products and I can, make a living doing that, I can like teach him how he can do it for himself. So that's kind of like my inspiration for everything.
Oh, that is so awesome. All right. Well, John, thank you for being here and thank you for taking time out to just share with us a little bit about the back end because I know a lot of times we see these new tools come out, we're not quite sure how it works or if it's for us. And this has just been fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, my friend, for tuning in each and every week. If you learned something new or were inspired from today's episode, I would be incredibly grateful if you would take a minute and just leave a review. Bonus points if you share this episode by screenshotting it and tagging me on social at Creatives on Fire Podcast. I'll share you in my stories when you do. In the meantime, keep rocking your business, and don't forget, no one else will ever be you, and that is your creative superpower.